The NBA is more than just basketball. Today, it's a massive global business worth nearly $140 billion. With that much money involved, you might wonder, how clean is the league really? How far will players, referees, and team executives go when big money is at stake? Throughout its history, the NBA has faced shocking scandals, from secret bribes and point shaving in the 1950s to referee gambling, under-the-table contracts, and modern-day salary cap tricks. Could the outcome of a game really be influenced by money instead of skill? Are superstar players truly safe from temptation? In this video, we're diving deep into the NBA's biggest cheating scandals, including the controversial Kawhi Leonard to Clippers situation. You'll see how greed, pressure, and opportunity have challenged the league's integrity over the decades. If you're ready to uncover these stories, hit the like button, subscribe to Nylon, and turn on notifications so you won't miss a single shocking NBA moment. The early days. Before the NBA became the giant it is today, college basketball ruled New York. Teams like the City College of New York, CCNY, played in Madison Square Garden, selling out all 18,000 seats. Meanwhile, the New York Knicks struggled to attract even 8,000 fans. College basketball was the big draw, and where there's a crowd, there's often money and trouble. At the time, New York had thousands of illegal bookmakers, and one man, Harry Gross, ran a huge operation, making over $20 million a year. He even bribed police officers and politicians to protect his business. But money wasn't enough for him. He wanted to control the games themselves. During the 1949-50 season, some CCNY players were paid to shave points, meaning they deliberately played worse so gamblers could win bets. Even with this cheating, CCNY went on to win the National Invitational Tournament, one of the most prestigious tournaments of the time. The scandal came to light thanks to Junius Kellogg, a star from Manhattan College. When approached to cheat, he refused and secretly recorded conversations with other players. On February 17, 1951, CCNY players Ed Warner, Ed Roman, and Al Roth were arrested. Eventually, 32 players from 7 schools confessed to point shaving. They were all permanently banned from the NBA, including notable stars like Alex Groza. Harry Gross pleaded guilty to 66 counts of gambling and bribery and served 8 years in prison. This scandal revealed a hard truth. Even the most talented and promising athletes could be tempted by money, greed, and manipulation. It set a warning for basketball that would echo for decades. Jack Molinas and the 1950s betting scandal. In the early 1950s, the Detroit Pistons drafted Jack Molinas, a young player with a very promising career. But instead of focusing on basketball, Molinas started betting on Pistons games to make extra money. When caught, he was banned from the NBA for life. Molinas didn't stop there. In 1957, he teamed up with bookmakers Joe Hacken and Dave Goldberg, who were supported by the Genovese crime family. Together, they targeted college players, offering free meals, parties, alcohol, and even women to win their trust. The goal was to find young athletes willing to fix games for money. This scheme ran for 4 years before federal investigators finally shut it down. In total, 50 players from 27 different teams were involved. Some notable players, like Connie Hawkins and Roger Brown, were implicated, but later cleared of wrongdoing. Hawkins went on to be reinstated by the NBA in 1969, and Brown played in the ABA, winning 3 championships. These scandals revealed a harsh reality. Young athletes, especially those struggling financially, were vulnerable to criminal influences. Even the promise of fame and a career in basketball couldn't always protect them from greed, temptation, and corruption. 1979 Boston College scandal. Even decades after the early NBA scandals, college basketball remained vulnerable to corruption. In 1979, 3 Boston College players, Jim Sweeney, Ernie Cobb, and Rick Kuhn, were caught in a point-shaving scheme. They intentionally altered the score of games to benefit gamblers, taking money in exchange for manipulating outcomes. Although none of these players ever made it to the NBA, the consequences were severe. All 3 were permanently banned from playing professionally. This incident showed that even promising college athletes could fall prey to temptation. These scandals remind us that the risk isn't just about large sums of money, It's about opportunity and pressure. Young players chasing their dreams of fame and success could be convinced that a few $1,000s now was worth the cost of their future careers. The lesson is clear. Talent alone can't protect someone from greed, influence, or poor choices. 1984 NBA Finals and David Stern. Allegations. When David Stern became NBA commissioner in 1984, he took over a league already under close watch. Just 4 months into his job, a surprising accusation came from none other than Larry Bird, the Celtics superstar. Bird claimed that Stern wanted to extend the 1984 NBA Finals between the Boston Celtics and Los Angeles Lakers to 7 games, supposedly to increase revenue. During Game 6, the Celtics led the series 3-2, but the Lakers pulled off a 119-108 win, pushing the series to Game 7. Bird reportedly learned that the commissioner preferred a 7-game series, sparking questions. Could the NBA actually influence outcomes for money? Could business interests ever outweigh fair competition? Ultimately, the Celtics won Game 7 at home, securing the championship, and there was no evidence that the league manipulated the games. Still, the controversy stuck in fans' minds, highlighting the ongoing tension between sports integrity and business profits. Even decades later, this moment remains an example of how basketball, while a game of skill and heart, can sometimes collide with the realities of a billion-dollar industry. It was a reminder that in the NBA, the stakes aren't just on the court, they're in the boardroom too. The 1999 Joe Smith salary cap scandal. In 1999, the Minnesota Timberwolves tried to get creative with the salary cap by signing free agent Joe Smith to a below-market contract, while secretly promising him future payments under the table. This allowed the team to stay under the cap and sign additional players, but it was clearly against NBA rules. The scheme was uncovered when Smith's agent, Andrew Miller, left his marketing firm and revealed the illegal deals. The league acted swiftly and harshly. The Timberwolves were fined $3.5 million. All 3 of Smith's contracts were voided, and the team lost their first-round draft picks from 2001 to 2005. Key executives were either banned or forced to take unpaid leaves of absence. This punishment was one of the toughest ever handed down to an NBA franchise and sent a clear message. The league would not tolerate attempts to bypass the salary cap. The case reminded teams that honesty and rules must come before shortcuts. The 2007 Tim Donaghy referee scandal. In 2007, the NBA faced one of its biggest crises of trust in decades. Referee Tim Donaghy, who had been officiating since 1994, was caught betting on games he worked, creating shockwaves across the league. Donaghy had been working with a high school friend, Jimmy Batista, who handled bets for clients. Over the years, Donaghy would influence game outcomes to cover spreads, earning $5,000 per game when the bets went his way. Statistical reviews later showed patterns. He would call fewer fouls for the teams he bet on, and more fouls for their opponents, raising questions about his impartiality. When the FBI investigated, Donaghy cooperated and eventually pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud and transmitting gambling information, serving 15 months in federal prison. Though the NBA's review concluded that Donaghy acted alone and there was no widespread referee corruption, the scandal left fans uneasy. It also sparked deeper questions. Could other referees have been influenced? Did the league ever benefit from extended playoff series? The Donaghy case reminded everyone that even in a professional, highly monitored league, temptation and human error can threaten the integrity of the game. Fans would never forget the sense of betrayal, showing how important honesty and accountability are in sports. Proposition, bets, and Jonta Porter. 2024. With legal sports betting expanding across the U.S., new risks began to appear in the NBA. In 2024, Toronto Raptors forward Jonta Porter was caught placing bets on NBA games, including games involving his own team. To influence the outcomes, Porter faked injuries and limited his playing time, allowing bettors in his network to profit from prop bets. Wagers on specific performance statistics like points or minutes played. While the amounts he earned were small compared to the salaries of star players, the scandal sent a serious warning. The NBA responded decisively, banning Porter for life, showing that even minor violations of trust are taken seriously. His case highlights the dangers of legalized betting in professional sports and the temptation for players to prioritize quick money over integrity. For the league, it was a reminder that honesty and accountability remain essential to protect the game and the fans who love it. Kawhi Leonard and the LA Clippers. The most recent NBA scandal involves superstar Kawhi Leonard and the Los Angeles Clippers. Reports suggest Leonard received $28 million under the table through a no-show deal with a company called Aspiration, partially owned by Clippers executives. Allegedly, Leonard could get paid without doing any work, and the timing coincided with his contract extension, giving the Clippers more salary cap flexibility. The situation drew comparisons to the Joe Smith Timberwolves scandal from 1999. The Clippers denied any wrongdoing, and the NBA launched an investigation. While nothing has been proven conclusively, the case shows that even today, teams and players sometimes explore creative ways around league rules. Lessons from NBA scandals. Over the past 70 years, the NBA has faced point shaving, salary cap cheats, referee corruption, and players betting on games. Each scandal shows that when money, opportunity, and ambition meet, temptation can take over. The league has grown stricter with lifetime bans, fines, and investigations, yet fans still wonder, how clean is professional sports really? The NBA's history shows us that basketball is more than points, wins, or championships. From city college players in the 1950s to modern stars like John T. Porter and Kawhi Leonard, the league has faced scandals that tested its integrity. But it's also a story of reform, accountability, and resilience. How much do we really value honesty in sports? What happens when talent meets temptation? Every scandal reminds us that the game is shaped not just by skill, but by choices, character, and integrity. Players, referees, and executives all carry a responsibility to protect the sport we love. As fans, we may never know every secret behind the scenes, but we can celebrate the moments where skill and integrity shine bright. If you enjoyed this look into the NBA's hidden history, hit the like button, subscribe to Nylon, and turn on notifications to uncover more fascinating stories from the world of sports.